Beyond philosophy, Taheri's theories in response to the mind-body problem. My name is Mehrnaz Monzavi, and as a cosmo-inter researcher, I'm pleased to offer highlights of my collaborative research with Muhammad Ali Taheri, founder of the Cosmo-Inter Research Institute and the Scientific Journal of Cosmo-Inter. The outline for this presentation unfolds as follows: Introduction, research objectives, ambiguities and limitations in dual-aspect monism, T-consciousness versus consciousness, microtubules, consciousness and the brain, TCF's experiments on the mind and brain, the brain, commander or subordinate, interuniversal identity. Dual-aspect monism is a philosophical position that asserts that the mind and body constitute two facets of a single reality. Dual-aspect monism endeavors to harmonize the dichotomy between the mind and the body, commonly called the mind-body problem. This study critiques dual-aspect monism, highlighting its flaws. It introduces the concept of T-consciousness, positing it as non-material and non-energetic. Through TCF's experiments and Taheri's theories, conventional notions of brain-based consciousness are questioned, challenging microtubule models. The delineation of mind-body dualism, hardware and software with the brain as a detector and not a generator of consciousness, is emphasized. The locus of the command center or body management cannot be inside the brain. Taheri's approach conceptualizes the mind as software, underlying all material manifestations, even extending to diverse substrates, such as metals. Also, beyond the physical brain, Taheri's approach embraces the interuniversal identity. Ambiguities and limitations in dual-aspect monism. How does dual-aspect monism justify the unity of mind and body? Where does consciousness come from? Does dual-aspect monism, like physicalism, claim the brain as its origin? If so, how? If not, how does it explain consciousness beyond the brain and its link to the body? If consciousness as per dual-aspect monism is defined as an internal process from the brain, how does this align with the known arc or theory? This theory proposes consciousness arises from quantum processes in microtubules. How do proponents address objections about compatibility with brain conditions? For example, quantum events in microtubules require an unattainably large negative temperature. Does dual-aspect monism contribute to identity and ethics? T-consciousness, non-material and non-energetic, is one of the three existing elements of the universe apart from matter and energy. This triangle shows the relationship between T-consciousness, matter, and energy in the T-consciousness theory. T-consciousness fields are unique qualitative fields derived from an immaterial intelligent network, named by Taheri the Cosmic Consciousness Network. The effects of TCFs on matter and energy encompassing human, animal, plant, microorganism, molecule, cell, and particle subjects are investigated through various reproducible laboratory experiments. Consciousness in general is the what it is like experience with self or world awareness, is a multifaceted enigma studied in neuroscience, philosophy, cognitive science, and psychology. Most often the brain, consciousness, and mind are considered to be intricately intertwined. Physicalism regards the brain and consciousness as essentially identical substances. Some theories explore how specific cellular structures, such as microtubules in neurons, may be linked to the origin of consciousness. Arc theory suggests that microtubules are involved in quantum processes of consciousness, proposing that orchestrated vibrations may influence the collapse of quantum superpositions. However, it's hotly debated and lacks strong experimental evidence. Critics argue that the required conditions for these quantum processes are unrealistic within the brain's environment, and proponents haven't provided conclusive proof. The major findings of the TCF's experiment regarding task fMRI group and functional connectivity analysis of the brain are as follows. Hemispheric disconnection rises with TCF's presence, despite individuals remaining conscious. Engagement with TCFs leads to increased brain inactivity, per graph analysis. Connections among brain regions decrease, and microtubule associations diminish. Signals decrease significantly, suggesting the brain isn't aiming to generate consciousness. The brain's inactive regions increase instead of becoming more active to produce consciousness. A study's message: the brain cannot be a generator of consciousness. The major findings of the TCF's experiment regarding investigating the effect of TCFs on the behavior of the laser light in passing through an aperture and observing the Heisenberg uncertainty principle are as follows. Observer influence. Significant reduction in conventional observer influence near aperture observed. TCF's impact. Negligible impact on laser light behavior alone, but substantial alterations when integrated into aperture setup. Physics principle. Light passing through a slit shifts from wave to particle-like behavior due to the observer effect. TCF's treatment. Decrease in observer role of a slit, leading to light approaching inherent wave-like nature. Implications. Direct observer effect noted with TCFs altering the role of observers in experiments. Studies message. The absence of typical wave-particle behavior in presence of TCFs underscores the influence of T consciousness. TCF's impact on observer effect signifies the separation of T consciousness from human nature. Nature of T consciousness distinct from the nature of observation, demonstrated independence from the material world. TCF's experiments show T consciousness influence beyond the material world, altering observed behavior, the brain. Beyond microtubules, exploring TCF's effects on the brain metabolites and microtubule water dynamics. In probing TCFs, current studies extend beyond microtubules to analyze brain metabolites as sensitive detectors in the presence of TCFs. About 130 to 140 metabolites and microtubule water dynamics are under investigation for pre- and post-TCFs application, revealing observable alterations. Notable among these are amino acids, creatine, gamma-aminobutyric acid, and a wide range of lipids and fatty molecules. Empirical findings emphasize identifying affected molecules and discerning alterations in their behavior. Microtubules only serve as indicators and are influenced by T consciousness. Studies message. The TCF experiments have demonstrated that other smaller molecules can also be candidates for detection by consciousness or mind, the software behind the hardware, the brain. Beyond microtubules, what is interpreted as orchestration is that microtubules and other molecules detect this backstage consciousness or software and not generate it. The major findings of the TCF's experiment regarding the theory of the existence of mental body in matter based on the experimental laboratory results and TCFs are as follows. T consciousness research evidences the presence of varying levels of mind, extending even to inanimate entities such as diverse metals. Proposal of a mental body for matter encompassing information on its components. The function of the mental body is to maintain the information, interact with TCFs, and exhibit behavior based on mental states. Observation of TCFs effects from two aspects, TCFs and matter, without energy exchange or structural changes. Taheri's approach challenges the notion of the brain as a commander, suggesting it's more of a subordinate. This sparks inquiries into how the brain's complex electrical circuitry generates human behavior, emotions, and experiences. Key questions include neural messaging and human behavior, electrical circuit and qualitative phenomena like insight, perception, thought, emotion, binary neural communication versus complex behavior, quality creation in electrical circuits from quantity, complex emotions arise from simple neural action potential, brain's fuzzy logic, electrical devices' role in emotional expression like anger, love, and fear. Can an electrical circuit generate human qualities and characteristics? And much more. Dual aspect monism seems a promising solution to the hard problem of consciousness, but shares the flow of physicalism in addressing these questions logically. Taheri proposes a new multi-layered concept of identity, expanding beyond the brain. See the picture. National identity, once prominent, is giving way to a global one. Earth identity acknowledges our shared planet, but we haven't fully embraced it. This disconnect has caused problems. Humans have treated the Earth as a battlefield and have placed their selfish desires ahead, destroying it in pursuit of personal gain, becoming the cause of wars, bloodshed, poverty, hunger, etc., and creating rich and poor countries. Taheri's interuniversal identity goes even further, suggesting that we are part of a cosmic ecosystem. This broader identity could foster peace and understanding of the united body.